Okay, what do I think about Hegseth and his speech? Which I would like to say, for the record, I was completely right about when I said it was going to be rah, 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 organizational, heard on a podcast crap mixed with toxic masculinity, warrior ethos, which it absolutely was. And it's just him reiterating what he's been doing since he took over, right? Like, I fought my whole career against this, as did many of the generals and admirals in that room, right? For diversity programs, for better treatment of women and minorities. And he has been full on swinging for all of that ever since he took the spot of the Secretary of War. He is, and I mean, I wish I could record Mr. Knitting Coat Lady going off about him, because, like, everyone else in the military hates this kind of guy. We all had to serve with this kind of guy who could just pontificate on how women couldn't do the job and blah, 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 and like toxic BS. Now, here's the thing. It's going to be much harder for him to accomplish than it was before, right? Because women have been there doing all the things. The military, women have been fully integrated into every position in the military since 2016. I was one of the first women on a deliberate ground combat team in 2011, Afghanistan patrols, that led to all of that. Wrote about it in my best-selling book, Uncultured, which you can get signed copies of here or listen to me read to you anywhere you get your audiobooks. And so we've been doing the job. Women have been doing the job for almost a decade now. Trans people have been doing the job for almost a decade now, right? Because the trans ban came down after the combat ban, because once they realized it didn't matter what gender you were to do combat, they realized it didn't matter what, if they could tell, right? He's also targeting black men by saying the shave every day thing. He's targeting black men because shaving every day is hard on all men, by the way, and many soldiers get out of the military with significant facial scarring. For black men, it is significantly worse because the curliness of the hair that they tend to have, there's a name for it, follicular something, I'm just not going to pull it up, I'm sorry. And it is significantly worse amongst black men, especially if they're required to shave every day. So many black men in the military have what's called a profile, which is a doctor saying nobody can make you shave every day. They're not walking around sporting full beards, right? They're just not shaving every day. These men still are getting out with, huge amounts of facial scarring. But by doing this and by talking about with gender neutral haircuts, right, he's targeting women, of course, because many of us don't want to have to commit. Like, we already have to go to work in full drag. We were already the only modern military that didn't have women's fatigues. And now he's taking those away, right? By saying you have to have a gender neutral haircut, he is targeting women, right? Because most of us don't want to have to commit to having a man's haircut, because they always mean men's, right? They don't mean gender neutral. They mean men's, right? Long braid is gender neutral. Lots of Vikings with that. Hair, in fact, is gender neutral. Has anyone told him, right? So he's doing these things on purpose. And, I kind of feel like everyone's just going to say, yeah, hooah, whatever, and go back to doing what they're doing, right? Like, if Donald Trump and Hegseth can destroy the culture of the 2 million person Department of Defense in 4 years, then geez. But, they're trying really hard. They're trying to do all of this stuff. And we are on this timeline now, and we get to see what happens. I do love that he felt so much pressure to announce that he was drinking coffee, right? That means they're hearing the mocking. He probably knows that there's a woman out there, influencer, who calls him Kegs Breath. Right. It sucks. But 20% of the military is women. That is a critical tipping point, right? I kind of just wish women would call it the bluff. Like, if all of the women in the military submitted their paperwork to get out right now, your military would not function. If all of the people who he doesn't want in his military dropped out, your military would not function. So in a way, while I am upset, I'm very upset for all the human beings whose lives this is affecting, who have worked very hard to make our military the professional, technologically advanced organization that it is, that he's affecting their lives and trying to drag the organization backwards. But I'm not that upset, I guess, with just outright weakening Donald Trump's military. Oh, and I challenge Kegs Breath to a push-up competition any fucking day of the week. Sir. Have a day. Stickers in the shop.